just it's not just the elders passing it down to the young folks. It's also the young folks turning on the elders to new things. The finest musicians I know are the ones who always surrounded themselves with younger musicians, listened to what they were listening to, and kept their ear to the street to see what was bubbling up. And so I am very excited to sit down here with all these great young players from the School of Rock and have them teach me a few things about music and life and about everything else, because after seeing how they just played tonight, I know they've got some wonderful answers waiting for us. So we're going to ask everyone the same 3 questions, 3 pretty big questions, and we're going to ask them to somehow sum it up in one sentence, which is not the easiest task, but I know that they're going to rise to the occasion, and I can't wait to learn some great new things about music from them, because we're always learning. If you really study music, it's an ongoing journey, and we all are in it together. So anyways, we're going to start off with this young gentleman to my left. How's it? Introduce yourself, my friend. How are you?
Hi, I'm all right. My name's Crane Benson.
All right, Crane. And what are your instruments tell the crowd your preferred instruments of choice that you're playing tonight?
Well, for the most part, I play guitar and I sing.
Awesome. So, Crane, what have you learned from the School of Rock? The biggest lesson you've learned so far?
I would say that the biggest lesson I've learned so far from School of Rock is being able to work with a group and like synergize with the people around you, to be able to play the best that you can play.
That's a great answer. That's what it's all about right there. Who are your biggest music influences right now? Who are you really digging on?
I think that my biggest influence, especially right now, would be Jacob Collier. He's a phenomenal musician, and he's had like such an enormous impact on me. And so, yeah.
That's awesome. Nice. And in one sentence, I know it's a big question, but what does music mean to you?
I would say that music to me is like a method of, like, the purest method of expressing human emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You knew it. Well, Crane, thank you so much. You sounded great on guitar and vocals there.
Thank you.
Honored to have you here at the Funky Uncle. All right, my friend over here, introduce yourself to the camera if you don't mind.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Aaronsman.
And what has been your biggest lesson that you've learned at School of Rock so far?
Biggest lesson I've learned from School of Rock is how to be a performer, how to get on a stage comfortably with your instrument. Just kind of enjoying the ride,
Absolutely, I hear that, man. And so, what's your biggest influence at the moment? Who you've really been digging on?
Biggest influence? I'm a really big Jimi Hendrix fan.
Can't go wrong there.
I also like Arctic Monkeys.
Nice.
I mean, those are kind of the two big ones right
cool.
now.
And I like two different
two
kind
different
of parts
genres,
of rock and roll
yeah,
history.
yeah.
You gotta just mix it all together. And so, if you could tell us, what does music mean to you in one sentence?
Music is self-expression and one's ability to express himself without actually verbally saying it.
Yes. Amen to that. Fantastic answer. Well, once again, thank you for coming in. You sounded great.
Thank you.
And to the young lady sitting to your left, how are you, man? Would you mind introducing yourself to the camera?
Hi, I'm Molly Kluitry.
Hey, Molly. And what is your favorite instrument that you've been playing tonight? What's your main focus?
I play bass, but then there's the occasional tambourine.
A little tambourine in there too?
Yeah.
Awesome. What's been the biggest lesson that you've taken from School of Rock so far?
I think just playing with everybody, because, you're not always going to get to play what you want, and you have to make compromises, but I just love everybody a lot.
I think that's the greatest lesson, too, because if you want to be a musician, you have to learn to compromise one way or another when you share a stage with other people, or when you share a van with someone.
Oh, God.
or a bus and all that. So.
Yes, sir.
I hear you. So what's one of your biggest influences right now, Molly?
I was thinking about it. It's Paul McCartney. I've been in love with him since I was little.
You can't go wrong.
He's great.
That's awesome. Well, the gentleman who is putting the lights on all of us right now did lights for Paul McCartney
Really?
too. So
I
you
need
and
to
Sir
talk to
Paul
him.
are sharing a crew member right now.
Oh, my God. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Exactly. And so, Molly, what does music mean to you in one sentence?
I don't want to sound lame.
No matter what you say, it's not going to sound lame. It's going to sound awesome.
It's just the best thing in the world. It
is, right?
Like, just the way it can make you feel is just perfect.
Amen. Hey, can't go wrong there. I mean, great answer. Well, thank you once again for coming to the Funky Uncle, and you sounded great as well. So appreciate it. All right, my man over here with the cigar box guitar that you were just crushing on the chain.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. What is your name, my friend? Introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Josh Gutierrez.
All right, Josh. Great to have you here at the Funky Uncle. What has been one of the biggest lessons that you've learned from the School of Rock so far?
It's similar to what Crane said. It's more just learning to play in a group and really like getting to mesh with everyone, because it's one of the, you could play with people you don't know and it'll sound all right, but when you play with people you're like close with, it's just it's all there.
You can kind of read each other's minds a little bit more. And I love it how you both kind of said that as well, and that's so great, because what I saw today is I saw so many players, everyone gave each other space to solo, to sing, to shine. You guys were switching instruments. No one was, just trying to play over everyone. You'll see some artists out there who just want to shred over everyone like the entire set, and there's nothing more just pathetic, really, than that to me. You guys play as a group, and you've all kind of mentioned that, and I think that's great. So I love hearing that answer. Now, who's one of your biggest influences right now?
So there's a quick couple. My influence, I would say, like in rock, I'd say maybe like King Crimson, Robert Fripp, and then another one, a very weird, and then a very weird discipline is a man named Michael Powris. He's a Greek bouzouki player. I recently picked up Greek bouzouki, and this dude can play on an acoustic instrument faster than anyone I've ever seen on an electric. It is truly insane.
What, is he an older musician, younger musician?
No, he's probably like 29. Al Di Meola trained him. He's incredible musician. Yeah.
Cool. That sounds awesome. You're gonna have to hit me to that before you come out of here. That sounds great. And Josh, you could say, what does music mean to you?
It means I can be loud and make the neighbors call the police on me at will.
Yes. Come on, neighbors, get hip to it.
Oh, they have done that one time.
Hey, man, that's rock and roll. Get used to it. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys all just gave wonderful answers, and I love the way you all played, and it's great to see this camaraderie that you're all sharing together. It seems like you guys have a great relationship off the stage, and that comes through on the stage as well. Seems like you all respect each other's playing and each other's friendships, and that's great to see, and it's just wonderful. Y'all, please keep it up. We'd love to have y'all back in here at the Funky Uncle with your own bands or little bands that spring out of this. It's music is part of life down here, and I'm glad to see y'all living it, and keep it going. It's not the easiest job in the world, don't get me wrong, but I tell you what, it is rewarding. So thank y'all so much. It's been an honor to have you. I've had some of the greatest musicians in the world come on this stage, but it means a lot to be sitting here with y'all, and I mean that. So thank y'all so much, and we're gonna make way for some more of these fine musicians' bandmates right here at the Funky Uncle. So y'all give it up for the School of Rock All-Stars. Thank y'all for your great answers, and we are going to bring in some more of the School of Rock All-Stars to share with us what's on their minds and answer these very simple, concise questions that we've come up with. But they do have a great take on everything. So all of us at the Funky Uncle are so honored to be bringing the music to the people and to keep it alive any way that we can. That's why we started doing this when everything shut down, and we've continued to, and we're going to keep manifesting that in different ways. And, until the day comes where you'll be, joining us here at a show, and we sure do look forward to that. So now we've got some more great young musicians sitting with us now. I'm sure y'all heard the questions I asked earlier, and, you had some time to go over it in your brains. First off, I just wanted to say you all sounded great. I was rocking out to all of you individually and collectively. Sounded fantastic, and we're happy to have you here to share some insights with us from the crowd. So I'm going to start with you, my friend, sitting right here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Kenzie. I play drums.
Right. Kenzie, great to have you here at the Funky Uncle. Sounded great tonight.
Thank you.
So what is one of the main things you've learned from School of Rock?
Well, a big thing, I guess, is community and learning how to play in a band with other people, because usually, when I first started, it's a whole different dynamic than, like playing alone in your room.
Yeah, just shedding to a record or something. A little different, right?
It's definitely hard getting used to playing with other people at first, but
But way more fun when you find the group,
yeah.
right? Nice. Well, what are some of your biggest influences right now?
In what way?
Like musically, like who are you listening? Who are you vibing? Out? Who are you, learning riffs from when you're in the room?
I'd say, right now there's a lot of like System of a Down,
Yeah, cool.
A lot of like metal, punk, goth influences.
Nice. Well, I mean, New Orleans has always been like a huge like hotbed of that. Like,
right.
It might not be as portrayed in the media so as that kind of town, but we've always had. I mean, Nine Inch Nails started here,
Yes.
lived here for a long time, and yeah, that's a huge thing. That's awesome. So what does music mean to you? I know it's a big question, but
It's a big part of my life. Like, it's basically the one thing that has like brought me together with a lot of my best friends now, and it's just, like I said before, community is a big part of it. And
yeah,
I don't know, I went to art school before and I experienced like that scene. It's just not my thing, and then I got into music and it's just like everyone's so accepting. It's
that was more the vibe,
right.
I love that, and I feel the same way. Like this is why I work in the music industry. Many of my best friends came from this, and so that's great to hear. And thank you so much, Kenzie. Great to have you here at the Funky
Thank
Uncle, and love your playing. All right, hello. How are you? Would you introduce yourself for us?
Hi. My name is Lane, and I play bass guitar and I sing. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, Lane, you were crushing it tonight. Sounding great.
Thank you.
So what have you learned from School of Rock? What's the biggest thing you've taken so far?
Oh gosh. I think like one of the biggest things is School of Rock helped me come out of my shell. Like before I joined 2 years ago, I think, I was extremely introverted. I would barely talk to anyone. And I think you've noticed, like, from tonight, I don't stop talking now. So it's like, it's changed me a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And I met some of my bestest friends here, like Kenzie and Matea and people
That's
like
awesome.
that. So yeah.
You're kind of able to communicate with your instruments,
Yeah.
and then became friends outside of the band too. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Nice. But what have been some of your biggest musical influences lately?
Definitely Hole, Courtney Love.
Right.
I take
Yeah.
so much from her. I love her voice. And, mindless self-indulgence.
Cool. Nice.
And typo negative. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. When I was around that similar age group, I was listening to those bands a lot too. They had were just releasing albums, but it still holds up.
Yeah.
And a cool thing, like Courtney Love and some of the bands from in that kind of scene in those days, it was they were kind of retaking rock and roll for women.
Yeah.
And
definitely like the whole Riot Girl scene.
Yeah,
I'm really into that right now.
Yeah,
so.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they did so much good, and I'm glad that you're channeling that. And so, what does music mean to you, Wayne?
Ooh.
I know it's a big question, but there's no wrong answer.
Okay. 1 second. Can I?
Yeah. So, what does music mean to you?
Okay. I guess community. Through the type of music I listen to and stuff like that, I met so many awesome people and made so many amazing friends that I trust with my whole life now.
Awesome.
So, and it's definitely made me a happier person. And yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being part of the Funky Uncle community, and you sounded great tonight, so appreciate you. My man over here, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
I play bass, a bit of piano, and I like to play percussion with Molly over there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. What has been one of the biggest lessons you've gotten from School of Rock so far?
I think probably community, like everyone else has been saying, but also I've developed on my instrument a lot since I started School of Rock also.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what have been your big influences lately? What are the artists that you're really digging on?
Well, right now I'm going through a huge indie Mac DeMarco phase.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
but overall, I've always loved the Beatles, and
Yeah.
Paul McCartney's bass playing has inspired me a
course.
lot.
Can't go wrong there.
I'm also super into Nirvana, Weezer, the Smashing Pumpkins.
Nice.
Yeah, stuff
I
like
saw
that.
Smashing Pumpkins live when I was about your age.
That's awesome. Yeah, I wish.
And, when I first learned guitar, I think like probably the first 10 songs I learned were all Nirvana songs.
Yeah.
So I'm
Me
right
too.
there.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, man. Right, it still holds up after all these years.
Yeah.
You know. Great. And so, what does music mean to you?
Music is one of the biggest things in my life right now. I think the feeling of locking in with your entire band and is just it. It's a feeling that you can't get anywhere else or from anything else. I'm at the happiest when I'm playing music with my friends and alone.
Awesome.
I do record sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great answer, and I hope you keep on doing it because you're sounding great up there.
Thank you. That means
great.
a lot.
Well, thank you so much for being here at the Funky Uncle.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. All right, man, when we were here, you were just wailing on Give Me Shelter just a few minutes ago. It sounded great. Introduce yourself for us, please.
Okay.
Tell people who you are.
I'm Sarah, and I do vocals and a little bit of keys.
Awesome. Nice. Well, you were wailing on the vocals tonight, so good on the keys, too. Great to have you here. What has been one of the big lessons that you've taken from School of Rock?
That we're better together, and when you're able to be with a group of people that you can relate to, you can just make something magical.
Absolutely. Y'all definitely made some magic in here tonight. That was great. Well, I mean, you were just wailing on the vocals, so I'm wondering who are some of your biggest influences? What are you drawing from?
I love Phil Collins, but also the Beatles.
Awesome. Nice. Can't go wrong there. And Sarah, what does music mean to you at the end of the day?
Music, I think, is a way to express yourself and be able to relate to people, and a way to bring people together to just be happy.
Awesome. Well, y'all definitely did that tonight. We were all having a blast with you. So thank you so much, Sarah. Sounded great. Appreciate it. And over here, would you introduce yourself to us, ma'am?
I'm Matea Winter. I mainly play drums, but I also do a bit of bass and keys.
I saw you were crushing the rhythm section on both ends. That was great. Really enjoying that. And what has been one of your biggest lessons that you've learned in School of Rock so far?
Probably communication, because to get where you want to be, you have to have a lot of, communication between one another and, just talking it out and stuff.
For sure. And that's something I thought was so cool because, like, you guys have, like, you have a big band and you guys kind of ebb and flow and you guys do different instruments and all that. So it takes a lot of communication to make that work. And y'all did so. It seemed very seamlessly, It seemed like everyone knew where they were supposed to be and what they were supposed to play at the right time. So, communication is everything when you're on stage together. So y'all definitely crushed that, and that's awesome. Who are some of your biggest influences right now?
I've been getting into a lot of Aretha Franklin.
Nice.
And always a big fan of Rush.
Nice.
And some Zeppelin maybe in there.
Cool. I hear you. I mean, those bands never go out of style. I've got some secondhand Neil Peart stories from an old roadie friend of mine who toured with Rush. So I can tell you guys later that are pretty good. Said he was a great guy and very dedicated. So that's awesome. And then Aretha, of course, the Queen of Soul. She'll never go out of style no matter what. That's awesome. So at the end of the day, like, what does music mean to you? Why have you chosen to, dedicate so much of yourself to it?
It's a big part of what contributes to my happiness, and I've made so many friends along the way because of it, and it's just a way to express myself. And
see, that's what it's all about, And I love it how you guys all have a similar answer, and one that's so beautiful. It's all about the community and being together and sharing your music, different musical tastes. Like, you guys have all, guys and gals, have had so many cool different influences that you've all given me, and then some similar ones too. And I love it how you found a lot of common ground and just blended different styles in there together. different instruments, different ways of playing and presenting yourself, and it's a great camaraderie that I'm seeing from everyone here, and that's what makes music work. And not only does it make it work for the musicians on the stage like yourselves, but for those of us in the crowd as well. That's what brings people together. Some of my best friends in this life have been people who I met, seeing my favorite bands together, and we're still all friends today. And so that's wonderful that y'all have that. And I just hope you all keep it up and keep rocking. And we can't wait to hear what else you got. Well, you had something to say.
I want to hear them all say. What to say?
All right, y'all. So we're gonna have y'all join me in saying Fridays from the Funky Uncle. Wash your hands, stomp your feet. So I'm gonna count it off. 1, 2, 3. Fridays from the Funky Uncle. Wash your hands and stomp your feet.
Fridays from the Funky Uncle is proudly brought to you by
right here at the Funky Uncle. Maybe I do have hope for the future. Thank y'all so much. Y'all crushed it, and we'll see y'all next time, all right? Take care. Y'all be good. Who dat, baby? Who dat?